Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to show you guys the basics of Scratch. So Scratch is a coding website for all ages. You can create an account or sign in if you already have one, and I'm going to make an account for this video. So if I click on join Scratch, a thing will pop up having me create an account. So if you're using this for school, you can put in your school username, but I'm gonna put in the username sizeable wig. So that's what username I'm going to be using, and then you want to put in password, so you can put in your school password or something. So I'm going to put in a password, and then you want to put it in again to confirm it, make sure it is correct. And then once you've done that, you want to click next, and then it'll ask you some information. So then you'll put in the information and click next again. So after you put in your information, then you will have to put in your email. So you can use your school email, or you can use a personal one if you're not using this for school. So I'm gonna go put in my email, and then we'll move on to the final thing. Okay, so I created my account, and when you create an account, your username will pop up in that top bar right there, and you'll also see this messages and your stuff. And if you click on your username, there will be like a few options coming out, like signing out, account settings, your stuff, and your profile. And you're also able to play other people's games, and you can also create your own games, and you don't have to have an account to play other people's games, but you can also create your own games if you want to. And so to create a game, you click create in that top bar right there, and then it will load it up. Okay, so this is what it looks like once you've loaded up. It will be blank and stuff. There'll be a cat right there, and you can also rename the project to something else. So I'm going to rename it to Basics uh, Tutorial, and there we go. So I renamed it to Basics Tutorial, and you can also make it play and make it stop. So the green flag will make the project play and go, and then the red button will make it stop and stop doing what it was doing, and the blue full screen button right here will make it so that it goes full screen. And there's scripts over here, and this is one of the tabs that you can access, and within this tab there's a bunch of options that you can do. There's the motion, which have move, turn, and all the moving stuff, so you can make it move 10 steps, or you can make it move like 8 steps or something. And then there's the events tab in this, and it'll make it so like when the flag is clicked, it will do this, or when this is pressed, it will do this. And basically, when certain things are clicked or broadcast, it will do this. And yeah, so for the looks tab, it'll be like saying hello, or hiding, or showing, or switching to a different costume, or changing its size or something. And then for the sound, it'll play a sound or stop sounds, and just do stuff with the sounds. And then for pen, it will clear that pen and clear the colors and stuff. And you can do a stamp and then the pen down up and change the color and change the size and the shade. And on the data one, you can make a variable or make a list. So if I click variable, you can make it so it's for all the sprites, or for one sprite. So for this cat one, I'm gonna make it so it's only for the cat one. So if I just click for this sprite only, then I can name it. So I'm gonna name it cat. And then once you've named it and clicked OK, you can There are a few different options you can make it so that this doesn't show up on the bar, because as you can see it's showing up right there. So if I click it, it will not show, but if I click it again it will show. And you can make it so it sets the cat to something, or change the cat by 1, and show the variable a height variable so that it won't show, and you can also make it so it will show. And you can get rid of that by unhiding it. You can also make a list, which is basically almost, well, it's not the same thing, but it has the same options for creating one. you I'm going to make it so that it's for this sprite only. You can also make it so for all the sprites, and we can name it something. So I'm gonna name it cat1, and then once I've named it cat1, I can click OK, and then as you can see, uh, a list will show up right there, and there are a few different options for that list. You can make it so it shows or doesn't show. You can also add a thing to the cat, so I can add like a box or something to the cat, or a coin or something. You can make it so it inserts something, replaces something, shows the list, doesn't show the list. And if the cat contains something or doesn't contain something, so if the list does not. So yeah, you can do different things with the list, and you can, again, make it go away or show. The next tab is the control one. So if we click on control, you can see there's wait, repeat, forever, if then else, wait into, repeat into, stop, and then clone. You can also create a clone of a certain thing, or you can delete that clone. And you can make it so it waits a certain amount of seconds, like 5 or 10 or something, and you can make it repeat 10, so it will repeat that thing 10 times, or however many times you want it to repeat. You can also make it repeat forever, and for if then, it will be like, if this equals this, then you'll be able to have this be able to show, or something like that. So yeah, and then if then else, it's kind of like the if then thing, but allows more like stuff to it. And then wait until, we'll wait into this thing, and then repeat into, will repeat into that thing, and stop, and then creating a clone of a certain thing will make a copy of that sprite, and will be able to let you do something. So like if I want to make snow, then I can make it repeat that snow a bunch of different times, and it will, make a bunch snow, instead of having to create a bunch of copies of that snow, like having to make a bunch of different sprites of that snow. And so you don't have to do that, just clone it. You can also delete that clone. So yeah. And then there's the sensing. So the sensing has like the mouse pointer, so if it touches this, then yeah, that will happen. And touching the color or something will happen. And if this color is touching this color, something might happen. In the distance to something, and it can ask you what your name is, and you can answer that. And it can wait for your answer, and then something's like a, if the spacebar is pressed or something, if the mouse precision, and also the turning the video, and then the timer, you can also make it reset the timer, and the video transparency to a certain thing. You can also change the X position or Y position of a sprite, and do like a current minute or something, and then do something with your username. So like for a game, you can make it so it calls you your username, or has you use a username for it or something. So yeah, and then operators. Uh, for this one, there's like a few different things. So you got the plus, track, multiply, divide, pick random, greater than, less than, equal to something, and something, or something, or something, and not blank, and then join hello world, letter one of world, length of world, and mod, and then round, and yeah. So for plus, you can make it so this plus this, like, so if something's plus this, they'll make it bigger. So this, if the cat is plus something, it might get bigger or something. Yes, same with multiplying, it might get bigger or something. Subtracting might make it less or something like that. And that can be used to like do, different stuff with like certain other things and stuff. And if we click on more blocks, you can make a block or add an extension. So if I click on make a block, this will come up and you can name it something. So I'm going to name it jump. And then if we click on options, there'll be a few different options. There'll be the number input that you can click on, add a number input thing, can change the number input, add a string input. You can also delete those so they aren't there. You can also add a label texting. You can make it so it runs without screen for refresh, and then I can click OK, and it will add the block, and you can get rid of it by checking into the thing like you can with all the other ones. And there's actually, I can make this move, so if I click on a fence, I can drag this into here, and then I can do control and then wait till it, because so I can make it like, so I can make this, I can make the cat move, and I'm going to make it so it waits 5 seconds before having the cat move. And so if I click on motion, it will move a certain amount of steps, so I'm going to make it so that it moves 10 steps. Okay, so when I press the flag, it will move 10 steps after 5 seconds happen. So as you can see, it just moved, and then I can make it go back negative 10 steps. So if I click on that, I can do negative 10 steps, and then it will wait 5 seconds and go back. I can also make it turn, so it turns a certain amount of degrees. So if you want to make it like look up to something or something like that, you can. You can also just, drag this whole thing and delete it, and it will get rid of that whole thing. And there's costumes. So if I click on costumes, this is a different tab, and as you can see, we got 2 costumes. There's costume 1, there's costume 2, and then you got like some colors and different options to do with stuff. There's the select, there's the pencil, there's the line, the rectangle, and circle and text, and a bucket and stuff. So I can pick a different color. So if I pick yellow, and I can pick the bucket so that it will make something completely filled. You can also change the different thing of how it will do that. So if I click on this part of the cat, then it will change it to yellow. So let's change another part of the cat, and now some of the cat is yellow, and it will show in that costume. You can also make it undo that, so I can make it undo that, and I can actually change that so it does that on costume 2 instead of costume 1, so that it changes like the color on the second costume. So I can make it so if it touches something or does something, it will change to the second costume. So if you're making like a Halloween game, and you want to make it change the costume when something happens or when you click something, then it will be able to change it to the next thing. And so if I just go to the scripts, and I can, make this so it actually does that. So let's go to events, and then you want to click out when a flag is clicked, and then you want to do looks and switch costume to costume 2, or whatever name of the costume it is, or which costume you're changing it to. So let's drag out costume 2, and I can also make it so it waits a certain amount of seconds before it switches to the costume. So I'm going to make it wait 5 seconds. The switch to costume to the other stuff, and then I can click the flag, and it will do the switching after 5 seconds. So now it's changed to costume 2. So now it's yellow cat, like part of it's yellow, and you can also just make it go back to the first costume when you're editing the like project, and you can also just delete that stuff if you don't want it to happen anymore. So you can also just keep the when flag clicked if you wanna do something else with it, and you can also have multiple of when flag click things out, so it doesn't have to just be one happening. It can be a few different ones, and you got all this space right here to drag the stuff in. And you can also click on costumes. You'll be able to add other costumes or like create new things so that looks different other things. So if I click on the paint new costume, then a blank thing will come up and there'll be a few different options. There'll be like the color, paintbrush line, and then there'll be rectangle, square, and text and stuff. So I can make it so that it says something. So let me just change the color to black. And you can also change the font of it. So I'm going to make it say hello world. So now it says hello world, and then you can click it so that you're not messing with the typing. And then if you click out of that, it will and now show the text up there, and you can click on a few different things with these. You've got like bucket, erase, the moving, and the like remove the background, and select and duplicate. And so you can also get rid of that costume by just deleting it right there. And if I click on it again, then this will show up. You can rename it right there. And you can also, by clicking on the rectangle, have a rectangle pop up. And for the rectangle, you can like drag it and stuff, and it'll be like that by default. And you can get rid of that by pressing backspace. And if I drag this out again, I can drag it again. But if I click on if I go out of the rectangle one and then click on it again, I will be able to make it so that it's filled and not just like some of it is like not cleared and stuff, or like the middle's all empty. But yeah, like this, and you can just delete it again and do a bunch of different stuff with this. You can draw stuff, you can draw your own characters and stuff if you want to. You can also add in some other uh, stuff from your computer. You can also remove a sprite, but first I want to select costume one. So to remove a sprite, you just hover over it and click, and you do right click, and you'll be able to delete it or duplicate it or save it to a local file or hide it or get the info. So I'm just gonna delete it, and boom, now it is gone. So you can't it will just be gone, but you can get some new sprites. You can, get upload one from your computer, or like a picture of something, like a superhero or something. You can add in, and then you can also paint a new sprite, or you can get run from the library. So if I click onto this, you'll see some things be popping up. So we got like a ball of bananas, basketball, an apple, and some other things. Though some categories you can like pick where it shows all of them. You can also make it so that it just shows animals. So I'm gonna just make it so it shows animals. So if I click on animals, it will just show animals, and there are a few different options. There are different options, and I'm going to pick the dog. So if I just click on the dog and then click OK, I can use the dog. And now I have the dog in the thing, and I can do different things with the dog. I can also move around the dog by just clicking on the dog and moving the dog to somewhere else. So now the dog is a different area of the, you know, area that you see the stuff be added in. So I can also check the costumes and see what the different costumes are. So we've got like it's sitting and doing a few other things, and you can use those costumes so it actually does those different things. You can make it sit or and then not be sitting anymore and stuff. So I'm going to actually do something with the costumes, and I'll be right back once I've done it. Okay, so I made it so that when the flag is clicked, that it will every 5 seconds switch to a different costume. So it'll make it sit, and then it'll show its side and then back, and then back to its side again. And you can make it so it repeats this however many times, or repeat this forever and wait a certain amount of seconds. You can also make it so that uh, it repeats that thing, like so. After the side, I can make it so it's sitting again, and if I just click flag, I can show that it will every 5 seconds switch to a different thing. So in 5 seconds we'll switch to sitting, so now it's sitting, and then 5 more seconds switch to the side, and so on for how whatever you have the dog do. So now it's switching to the back and then to the side again, and it has, and then you can repeat that however many times, or keep switching it to that or that, and so now the dog has done that. So you can also do some other things. So the stage I can change. So if I click onto that, you can make it do different things. So when it starts, it can look like this. It can also, if you click a certain button, it might change to like a different backdrop or something like that. And you can also uh, pick a backdrop from the library, or make your own one from like drawing or something, or you can import an image from your computer of like something like a something from like a video game, or something like something from Team Fortress 2 or something like that, or Minecraft or something like that. So yeah, you can make it show a game background or movie background, or get one from the library. You can show a school in the backdrop or something like that. And if I just click on the backdrops tab, I can change what it shows and stuff. You can also add stuff to it, and I'm going to click the bucket and make it so that it's like a sky. So I'm just gonna click blue, and then make it blue. So now it's all blue, and then get a rectangle out and make it green, and let's actually make it a darker green. So there we go, and then you can make it so it's filled, and drag out a rectangle. So I'm gonna drag it out over here and have it show right here. So now, as you can see, it's like some grass, and you can make it wider or bigger or something. Like I can drag it more off the thing. So now it's like dragged off, and then I can just switch to a different thing. And as you can see, there is some grass there now, and I can drag the dog so that it's on the grass now. So it's like sitting on the grass, and yeah, so now it's on the grass, and you got a background with the sky and some grass in it. So you can add like buildings and other people or animals to the game, or whatever you're making. You can make animations on here. It can also be games or uh, something else. So yeah, as you can see, you've got a backdrop now. So I'm going to also add some other things. So if I click on choose sprite from library, I can pick someone else. So I'm gonna go to the people category and pick someone to like use for this. Okay, so I picked these, so I'm gonna click OK, and the should load up any second now. So now here is the, and you can drag the around like every other sprite, and move the sprite around. So if you want it. Okay, so that was it for part one. I'm splitting this basics into two parts because it is a long video, so I decided to make it into two parts. So this is part one. Part two will be coming out soon, and I'll have more Scratch tutorials out in the future. And this is just part one of the basics for people that don't really know how to use Scratch, and people that are new to it. So yeah, that's part 1 for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.